Hello again, Internet. It is Kevin Magida with you once again, real estate broker by day, movie lover by night. And this is Magida Movie Minutes, episode 2, second ever. So excited to talk to you again about a movie I just saw this weekend. I saw the movie Lights Out, which is a horror movie. I'm not actually a big fan of horror movies, but I do like them. It just seems like every year there's one or two good ones at the most that come out. And I'm really happy to tell you about this one because I think this one was probably one of the better ones that are going to come out this year. So let's just get right into it. Really frightening thing about this movie, I thought it was kind of a creepy concept. The child in this movie, there's a kid who's around 8 years old. And just kind of put yourself in this kid's point of view for a second. He's around 8 years old, and there is a ghost or something in his house. And normally, in that situation, the kid is running to the parent to tell them, hey, there's a ghost in the house. I'm scared, blah, 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 blah. In this case, that's not really an option because the mom that he lives with not only knows about the ghost, but is completely fine with the ghost being there and is kind of has something going on. You can watch the movie, she's kind of friendly with the ghost. So that kind of makes things pretty uncomfortable for the kid and everyone else in the movie. I thought that's a pretty scary concept because the kid kind of has nowhere to go and no one will really believe him because he's the only one that lives in the house that has a problem with there being a ghost there. Another thing I liked about this movie is a lot of times in horror movies, they try to trick you. They try to be like, oh, there's like, they're playing the scary music. Someone's at the door. Who is it? You know, something creepy going on. And it ends up, they open the door and it's like the mailman or something, or it's just something like a funny moment. I think that only happened maybe once in this movie. If not, it didn't happen at all. Anytime you thought something scary was going to happen, something scary happened. And it still, frightened you because there was a lot of, how do they say, like pop out moments, where it makes you like jump in your seat. That happened a few times during this movie. Another thing that I really liked about this movie was I thought there was some pretty good acting as well. I thought that the boy, like the around 8 years old boy, did amazing. Really convinced me. The mom in the movie, she was also pretty convincing as well. She kind of played a person that may or may not have some mental issues, and that really added to the movie as well. One last thing I want to talk about with this movie is that I think the last horror movie I saw in theaters was the movie Mama. I think I saw it last year whenever it was in theaters. And the thing I didn't like about that movie was that at the end of the movie, for like the last 5 minutes of the movie, you get to see the ghost monster or whatever, the mama in the movie. And after a couple of minutes, it becomes very apparent that you're not really scared of the monster anymore because you're just looking at it. In this movie, you don't really get to look at the monster because it's pretty obvious that it's called Lights Out. Comes when the ghost comes around when there is no lights, you can't see him. So I think there's only like 1 second in the movie maybe that you get to actually see the ghost's face. But other than that, you just kind of see it in the distance and you see it's like a dark silhouette. You can't see the face. And I think it adds something to it to make it more frightening. And the last thing I wanted to talk about with this is just kind of tell you about the experience I had in the movie theater because I had a kind of different experience than I normally have with movies. And that I saw this at 10:30 at night in downtown Chicago. And if you ever get the chance, you should go see a horror movie that just came out recently at a 10:30 movie in Chicago because it is something different. The audience, this was probably the loudest audience I've ever seen with a movie, but I've never been into a movie theater with. The woman next to me was pretty much narrating the entire movie, talking to the characters. At one point, this is a slight spoiler, but she literally stuck her iPhone and pointed it to the screen and yelled at the top of her lungs, "iPhone to the rescue." So just to let you know, that was the type of experience I had at the movie theater. Like I said, maybe you should give that a try. Go to the movies at 10:30 at night to see a horror movie in Chicago. It was pretty special. But yeah, other than that, for the movie, I would give it about, for a horror movie, I would give it 4 stars. Just like I did Ghostbusters, gave him 4 stars. I'm going to give this one 4 stars as well. I thought it was pretty good. definitely. I would say go see it. If you want to wait till it's on Netflix, that's fine. But it's definitely worth a watch. So that's it for the Magida Movie Minutes. This was episode 2. Signing out. This is Kevin Magida. Have a great week.